Alright, welcome to a very special episode of Dust to Dust. I'm here with Cryptid Stephen, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 cryptids.
Hey guys, I'm Cryptid Stephen. So, cryptids, we all know them, we all love them. Sometimes you see them in like the corner of the woods there, and we've all seen that photo of the Bigfoot. And
Sometimes you see them in the corner of your room.
yeah. Let's just talk for a second about what would you define as a cryptid, George?
Well, no, it's alright, you can call me George, everyone calls me that. What I would define as a cryptid is... I would define a cryptid as something that could potentially exist in reality without, like, absolutely breaking the laws of science. But a lot of cryptids also break this rule. It's honestly, it's a very fuzzy definition because there are so many things that are called cryptids. I think the whole point is they can't be sapient. Like, if they can learn human language, in my opinion, they're not a cryptid.
I personally disagree, but we'll get into that later. Now that we've got some groundwork, let's get into the list. So coming in at number 10, we have the Bunyip.
The Bunyip. Alright, you want to explain to us what a Bunyip is,
Okay,
Cryptid Stephen?
Like, a Bunyip is like a little, there's a few definitions. Some think it's like a little man. Other people think it's like a little octopus thing and it's in the water. But here's a few things about it. One, it can mimic human speech.
Oh yeah, it's something you're going to see a lot, isn't it?
Two, it can like swim through the water and it's got different shapes. Three, it's from indigenous folklore. Now, isn't that
We're
cool?
talking about indigenous Australian folklore, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Okay, so what do you think of them?
To be honest, I actually don't know much about the Bunyips. I think that they, sometimes as an Aussie, you just hear them talk about it all the time. But beyond that, I just don't know much about them. So I'd love to do some more research into them, really.
Okay, now, number 9, we got the Goat Man.
The Goat Man, alright. Now, there was a bit of an infamous story about Goat Men, if you remember episode 2 of the Ashes to Ashes podcast.
Okay, well, before we talk about it, I just want you guys to get an idea as to what it looks like. Editor, put up that photo of the Goat Man and he's like standing and he's like looking towards the camera and it looks kind of funny.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put that in the post.
And, yeah, you see, as you can see here, he looks pretty weird. He looks like a man, but he's got a goat's head. And now some people are like, nah, Goat Man can't be real because it looks too much like a human and that's not what science is like. But like, if that's so crazy, then what about other cryptids like the Bunyip? Anyway, Goat Man, it's just like a man and he like attacks people. And he's got goat horns. And he's like Satan.
You can baffle it?
Yeah. And yeah, and like number 8, we got
Oh no, go on.
we got the classic, the Loch Ness monster.
The Loch Ness Monster.
It lives in Scotland.
Yes, it does.
And it lives in a lake, and it's like, it swims around, and it's like in Super Mario 3D World, when you got the plesiosaur, and you ride it, that's kind of what it's like.
Yeah, so it's based off of plesiosaur? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's real. It's not based off anything, it's real.
What's number 7?
Number 7, we have Mothman.
Alright, now I don't believe in Mothman. I'm just getting it out there right at the beginning. I do not believe in Mothman.
I think the Mothman, he's kind of cool and kind of awesome because he's kind of badass when he flies around, he's got his little wings. But like, honestly, why would you evolve to be like a moth when you could be like a T-Rex or like a butterfly even? What do you think?
Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about?
Number 6, Chupacabra. That means goat sucker.
Oh, does it? Okay, tell me why they're called goat suckers.
Because in like Mexico and Colombia and like Guatemala and other Middle American countries and South American countries, they find these goats and they've got the blood sucked out of them. And that's kind of cruel and mean, but it's like a little dog thing that does it, and it's called like a chupacabra.
Do you think it's actually a dog, or do you think it's like someone playing a prank?
I mean, how can like a person... I mean, there are some freaks down in those parts though.
Yeah, I know, they do get kind of freaky though.
And they're like, sure, maybe they could get a straw and like drink the blood of an animal. But I think it's got to be the work of something else.
Yeah, so it's like there's just like one puncture hole.
There's like three usually. There's like three, and it's in like this shape. Put this shape up on the screen.
Yeah, like a bowling ball.
Yeah, like a bowling ball. Okay, now number 5. This one's beloved across many cultures, and throughout many schizophrenic communities and paranormal investigators. 2 very different things. We've got the alien.
The alien, alright, that's pretty broad, and I wouldn't really consider it a cryptid, but let's hear your explanation.
So, like, it's not, okay, a cryptid, I see it as something that's, like, there's no confirmation that it exists, but it might exist, and, like, that's the same with aliens. Like, you see the movie, Mars Needs Moms and Aliens in the Attic?
Yeah?
And they've got, like, the aliens, and they all kind of have, like, this one idea of what an alien is, and it looks like a person, but they've got, like, a funny head and big eyes, or, like, like an oval-shaped head.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and they're pretty nice. Like, if an alien came to Earth, I would try to like beat it to death.
Why would you do that?
Because I would be a bit scared of it. But if I couldn't do that, then I would like give it money, or like I'd give it wood, because wood in like the scale of the universe is pretty rare compared to other things that we consider rare, like diamonds, because diamonds are everywhere in the universe, but not wood.
Well, wood's made of cellulose, you know, like...
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Yeah. Number 4. Now this one, if you've ever been to Native America, you would have heard about this.
If you've ever been to Native America?
Yeah, like, you know how they've got the reservations?
Oh, okay, so those parts are called Native America?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, continue, let's hear it.
It's called the Skinwalker.
Alright, Skinwalkers are pretty frightening if you ask me.
I would, if a Skinwalker came to my house and he was like, "Can I come in and play the Xbox with you?" I would just let it in, because, well, it's not every day that you get a chance to play Xbox with a Skinwalker.
It'll eat you.
No, it wouldn't. If it asked nicely, it probably wouldn't. Like,
no, that's the whole point.
Like, sure, they can imitate humans, but they don't have like an understanding of human culture. So if it was like being really nice to me, it means it's probably got some idea and is slightly educated.
How do you know that?
Because, like, if it's just like a dumb Skinwalker who wants to eat humans, it'd be like, it'd be like, hello, I'm
You know, Skinwalkers were originally people, right? They're like witches that eat their whole family.
Yeah, but their brain rotted.
Does it matter if their brain rotted?
Yes, because then it couldn't ask you nicely to come inside your house.
Look, I'm not going to argue the semantics of it. I think that Skinwalkers are dangerous.
Okay, well, number 3, we have this. This might be disputed in like the Ashes to Ashes community a bit, but it's called a Dracula.
A Dracula. All right, let's hear it.
So like they live in Romania, and it's like a guy, and he's like a vampire.
Oh, it's just one guy. So how can one guy be a cryptid?
Bigfoot's just one guy.
You know, Jesus' existence is not confirmed. Is he a cryptid?
No, because he's like a guy. He's a human.
But do miracles.
Yeah, but he's still a human. Like, he's still a man. Like, a vampire he's like a man. He's got pale skin and long ears. And, like, big teeth.
Alright, fine. Continue.
And, also, like, you could say the same thing about, like, missing people if you're using that logic. You can be like, Madeleine McCann is a cryptid, because I don't know if she's alive or not.
No, but she's...
Anyway... So it's like in Romania, and like it kind of gets a bit weird out in like the woods in Romania, because you can find like a big castle, and you go into there and there's like a guy, and don't trust him, because he's probably a vampire.
Yeah, exactly.
And like they can turn into bats.
They can. They suck your blood.
What actually?
Yeah, it's like the main thing about vampires. They suck your blood.
Oh,
and they can't go out in the sunlight. They sleep in coffins.
I didn't know that. I probably should have done more research on it.
That's alright. That's alright.
Okay. Number 2. Bigfoot.
Oh, Bigfoot.
Now, this guy, this is a real man's cryptid. You know, you go to, fun fact about Bigfoot, the US President Theodore Roosevelt, back in his presidency in the early 20th century, he actually, he's got a few stories about hunting Bigfoots, and he tried to hunt Bigfoots. He's the guy who set up the national park and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so, like, they've been around for a while, and they're kind of, like, a well-known thing in America, and, like, the Pacific Northwest.
And, like, realistically speaking, they could exist, right? Like, I mean, gorillas were once considered cryptids, right?
Yeah, that's true. But, like, what's more realistic to you? Like a gorilla, like with those proportions with the big arms?
Mm-hmm.
Or just like a slightly taller, hairy person?
It's not just a slightly taller, hairy person, though. No one actually knows what a Bigfoot looks like.
Yeah, but
because all the photos have been
like,
shit quality.
Editor, put up the photo of the Bigfoot and he's, like, walking.
Yeah, I know, but you're not zoomed in far enough. First of all, I'm the editor.
Okay.
Second, you're not zoomed in far enough, and, like, the details aren't good enough to see if it's really just a hairy person. It could have a lot of ape-like features, we just don't know.
Yeah, but that's what they thought about, like, a gorilla.
Yeah, that's my point exactly.
So, like, it could exist, and it's probably more likely to exist in the wild than a gorilla. Because, let me ask you this, listener, have you ever seen a gorilla in the wild? So, therefore, that's right, the answer is no, unless you live in, like,
Africa.
The Congo, or, like, Mali, or the Ivory Coast. Or
Which,
like,
if you do, please get out of there.
or, like, Tanzania. Because, like, you wouldn't have seen one of those in the wild, which means that gorillas in the wild are technically cryptids by the previously established logic by George over here. So anyway.
What's number 2? Was that number 2?
That was number 2. Now
let's get into some honorable mentions.
We have the Mongolia worm.
Yeah!
They live in the desert, and have you played that game where it's got, like, it's a flash game, and it's got the worm, and it, like, dives into the ground?
Yeah, I've played that game.
And then it, like, gets bigger and stuff.
Yeah, that's Mongolia worm. Gobi desert worm.
That's basically what the Mongolia worm is. And, like, it attacks people. You know, there's, like, a Yu-Gi-Oh card based off it, I heard. I don't actually... I don't know.
I'm pretty sure we have it.
No, no, we don't have Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Not anymore, maybe. I don't know.
Now we also have a Frankenstein.
Frankenstein's another honorable mention, and we are talking about the monster, aren't we? Not the doctor.
No, the Doctor as well, because I mean, there's no proof that the Doctor actually existed. There could have possibly been throughout history a Doctor called Victor Frankenstein, but we don't know for sure.
You know what? Fuck you. Fuck your definition of cryptids. Go to number 1.
Okay, we're skipping mammoth and Tasmanian tiger to go to number 1. We have the Tsuchinoko, it's like a fat worm in Japan.
It's like a fat snake, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can bet that if someone found it in the modern day world, they would go into reddit.com/r/chonkers and post it.
Yeah. And also, it's got like a tail. It's got like a little tail. It's kind of like the Death Adder snake, where it's got like the big, you know, can you, editor, put up a picture of the Death Adder snake? And it's got like its tail, and it's like really fat, and then it goes into like this little rat tail to try and catch prey. So, it probably exists, to be honest.
To be honest.
Yeah, okay. That concludes our list. Leave your comments down below on what you think the best cryptid is.
Yeah, exactly.
This is Cryptid Steve signing out.
Cryptid Stephen signing out, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode.